One of my first guitars was an Epiphone SG, and ever since then I've always loved them. And on today's episode of Nathaniel Has Questions, we're going to find out all about SGs, from the origins all the way up to CME specs that we can get here. Also, as an added bonus, we're going to find out what SG actually stands for, and I'm pretty sure it doesn't stand for sex guitar. Jonathan, what's happening?
What's up, dude?
Shouldn't you be upstairs running a shop?
I know. I was gonna say I don't do too many of these, so.
I wish you did some more of these videos.
Well, you know, I got a store to run here.
Well,
so
I must say the video you guys did, the AC/DC stuff.
Oh, that was fun.
It was incredible. Some of my favorite full band Friday.
Yes, I'm back. Well, I'm back. Yes, I'm back.
I know you are an SG expert, I would say. Close to one.
I wouldn't call myself that, but I'm very passionate about them, and I know a thing or two about them.
Well, you know a lot more than me.
Oh, okay. So yeah, I think I was about 16. I got my first SG, maybe 17, somewhere in there, and USA standard. You know, from that point on, the SG for me, if I play any other guitar, it just for me it feels like I'm just putting on a different, like,
You're not as comfortable.
I'm not as comfortable. Yeah, it's like,
I get
it's like, for me, this is a blank sheet of paper.
Yeah.
You know, a Les Paul, I feel like I'm, you know, now all of a sudden writing on canvas. It's just a little bit different kind of thing. And every Les Paul I've ever bought, me personally, they were amazing guitars. I just ended up trading them in later for another SG because it was like, I feel different playing this. You know?
SGs, such awesome guitars. In fact, that's what SG stands for. Awesome guitar. That's not true. You know what it stands for, right?
Yeah, but I want to know if we're on the same level.
You want to see if
I want to see if you're right.
Right.
Go ahead.
Of course.
I want to see if you're right.
Yeah. It stands for solid guitar.
Close.
Oh, really? You know what's weird to me though is, and I don't know why, the Les Paul was also a solid guitar.
It was a very good guitar, yeah. Very solid.
Very solid. Les Paul, obviously, we all know the man, the legend, the guitar model. I've read in some places that one of the reasons why there was a switch to the SG world was because his music and that model was becoming kind of last year's thing.
Right.
You know, music is always changing. Pop music is always going to be different next year.
Yeah.
And they wanted to phase out that shape and that model and come up with something new. So some people say it was just that. It's probably that combined with the fact that building an SG is significantly easier than building a Les Paul. A Les Paul has, you know, a maple top, it has binding around the body, it has, the neck angle is different than an SG. There's so many reasons why a Les Paul costs more and is more difficult to build. Les Paul had been around for a decade, essentially, by that time. And it was time for something new, and the SG was born. The solid guitar, which it is indeed very solid, but so was the Les Paul.
Yeah.
It was very solid.
Now, I can't, you know, in my head, I can't picture Les Paul playing one of these.
As far as I understand it, he was not exactly thrilled about the transition. And the fact that it still had his name on the headstock in that shape. But there's, you know, he's seen, and there's several album covers with him holding a Les Paul. Of course, Mary Ford is famous for playing, a Les Paul Custom, SG Custom, 3 pickup white, guitar.
I mean, yeah, like I've seen him, like I said, the album covers, I've seen, pictures of him with it, and it's kind of odd.
I know.
I was just picturing with.
Who knows how much of that was marketing and how much it was that, what was him actually, being excited about the guitar. I don't know.
Yeah.
But he was an incredible player. You could put anything in his hands.
Well,
And
exactly.
Yeah.
He's Les Paul.
Yeah.
This is actually my favorite new guitar in the shop.
This color is amazing.
Yeah, TV yellow. So you would have seen this on like a, late 50s junior, custom color junior,
Yeah.
or special. So I think they came just standard in the TV yellow for the specials.
Yeah.
And so we decided to spec one out with Gibson Custom Shop on this guitar is a CME Spec 61 LPSG. So what that means is that it has our pickups.
Yeah.
So they're custom ass buckers. You can only get them in our guitars.
Oh, wow.
And what it also means is they're wax potted and they're slightly underwound.
Okay.
So the custom shop does that for us. We just found that when speccing those out, the underwind gives you a little more clarity. Yeah, we try to dream up of these SGs where, if we were to call, Gibson back in the 60s
Yeah.
and say, hey, I really want your sort of standard guitar, but just paint it this funky color. Could you do that for us?
Yeah. Yeah.
And so that's kind of what we try to dream up.
Yeah,
of,
yeah.
So.
All right. So Gavin, you were telling me that SG stands for sex guitar. I'm not quite sure that's right. Well, tell us about the CME Spec SGs that we got here. Some cool looking ones.
Yes. Specifically, when we give it that name, it's got our custom humbuckers.
Right.
This Heather Poly, I really like.
I like that. That's what Heather Poly.
Yeah.
That's a gorgeous color, I gotta say.
And I really like the Maestro Vibrola too. It's,
Again, another great color there as well.
Yeah, and
That's-
this one,
Oh yeah,
Silver Mist Poly.
that's cool.
Yeah. This one is a Murphy Lab. That's one of their catalog.
Look
not
at that.
CME Spec.
Right.
But we do have a bunch of double neck CME Spec ones on the way
Oh, we do.
that we're going to be getting and stuff. So
And those are like, different colors and stuff as well. And
yeah, we do the exact same
I mean, that is amazing.
treatment with those.
I do like this color though. So can a customer here, like say, call up the shop and say, right, I want this color, I want this type of whatever. That's possible for us to do.
Absolutely, yeah.
That's
yeah.
cool.
Gibson Custom Shop's been doing that for a long time.
Yeah.
We do a lot of made to measure is what they call it. And
Oh, okay.
so a customer can work with one of the salespeople
Yeah.
and spec it out. And then of course we do them just so we can adorn the floor with
Yeah.
beautiful guitars. And so we just kind of dream up different colors.
Yeah.
Actually, you should do one.
I would love to get.
Just-
I'm not made of money, mate. I ain't got
No,
enough.
no, not for you. Just
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Just-
Oh, yeah. I'll do one.
we'll sit down and we'll pick out what you want to look like, and
I would love
when
to.
we get it, you don't have to buy it. But somebody will buy it, and then
Somebody buy it and. Who's your favorite model?
my favorite model.
Yes.
Like
Don't do this.
Okay.
Your favorite SG model.
Okay. My favorite SG model. That's a good question. Like I said, the standard,
Yeah.
early 60s standard PAFs, small guard for sure. Obviously.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
I'm with you. Definitely.
But speaking of my favorite model, there are a lot of SG models, and there's so many that I wanted to bring this book out because I wanted to go through all of them because there's
We'll go
so
through all of
many.
them.
You may want to speed this part of the
Well,
film. up
let me.
so that it's
I'll
not
just
so
sit
boring.
back. I'll get
Get
comfy.
comfortable. Yeah, you ready?
Yes. Go.
Here we go. By the way, this book is great. It's printed every year. It's a price guide. So
Yeah.
if you're ever curious about what your vintage guitar might be worth, and it's always, you got to take it with a grain of salt. There's so many variables, but
Yeah.
this is a great book, Vintage Guitar Price Guide. And it's a great resource. For example, if you're curious, I wonder how many different kinds of SG models are out there, and you don't want to use your phone to go on the internet. Open this book, and it says there's an SG1, an SG2, an SG3, Roman numeral 1, 2, and 3. An SG3 without Roman numerals, just a normal 3. SG61 reissue, 62 reissue, SG90, SG100, SG200, SG250, SG400, SG Angus Young, SG Baritone.
That's odd.
Yeah. SG carved top. SG classic. SG custom. SG custom 67 reissue. SG custom Elliot Easton signature. SG deluxe. SG Diablo. SG Diablo Premium Plus. SG Diablo Tremolo. A lot of Diablos apparently. SG Dickie Betts. Duh. SG Elegant. That's probably for me. You know. SG Elite. That's more for you. SG Exclusive. SG Firebrand. SG Frank Zappa. SG Futura. SG Goddess. SG Gothic. SG Government Series. SG GT. SG Jeff Tweedy signature. That's a cool SG. Yeah. SG Juice pre-signature. Yeah. SG Juice. SG Original. That's real original. SG Pete Townsend. SG Platinum. Special reintroduced. SG Special 3/4. Should have been doing some music in between as we're doing this. Keep going. Yeah, we should start over. SGX. SGX Tommy Hilfiger. VSG. Sheryl Crow Country Western Supreme. Oh, that's a different guitar already. Okay, so those were all the SGs.
It's quite a lot, then, isn't it?
A lot of SGs.
Can you build me an SG, please?
I
mate?
think I can build you an SG. I mean,
Sure.
not me personally, but I know some people who can help you.
Okay.
Get
Can
an
you, can you
SG.
make it just look like this one? Pelham Blue. So this is Brian Fallon's.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yes,
oh
it
yeah,
is.
that's Brian's. It has the vibrola.
But it's not usable.
But it's not usable. He took the wiggle stick off,
took the arm
but he
off.
just liked the aesthetic of the tailpiece.
just
yeah.
do that for me, please, if you don't mind.
That is really cool. And that's interesting because that has a rosewood board.
How do you know that?
Because I can tell. Because I'm not colorblind.
Well, look, maybe I am. That's harsh. I genuinely am.
Are you really?
A little bit. I think that's Pelham Blue, is it?
That's orange, dude.
Fuck off.
All right. Okay, yeah, that's Pelham Blue.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what's cool about that guitar, man? On stage, it looks very cool.
It is a cool guitar, man.
We should tell the audience that Nathaniel played Riot Fest with Gaslight Anthem as a guest. And
Cheers, Brian. Thank you.
I always start here. Do you want humbuckers or do you want P90s? You want
humbuckers.
Okay.
Humbuckers.
All right. So we want to do a standard. So you could do a 61. You could do a 64. The big difference is neck profile with the 61 is the 61 is going to have a slimmer neck. The 64 has a slightly bigger neck.
I'd probably go for the 64 then.
So I like the 64. I think it's a great neck profile.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
I would
yeah.
say do a 64 neck profile. Then we would do Pelham Blue
Yeah.
because that's cool.
Now, I do like sparkle as well. I do like the
Dude,
sparkle.
Pelham Sparkle, man.
Is that a thing?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, but would that be a bit much, so?
No, I don't think so.
I mean,
don't
I'm
think so.
talking about this like I'm actually going to get this guitar.
Yeah. No. We'll make Brian get it for you. Okay. Custom Shop does a great job with sparkle when they add antique. So antique.
Oh, yeah.
So antique is it's like a yellow toner that they add to the finish that makes it look like the guitar's lived in a smoky room all of its life.
Yeah.
But it mutes the color a little bit, which makes it seem more realistic.
Yeah.
I think it's cool.
Yeah.
So I would say, anytime you do Pelham, I always say do antique. Put that toner in.
Yeah.
Because it just looks so cool. Gibson does such a great job with
So yeah,
Pelham.
let's do that. So antique Pelham Blue, no sparkle for this one then.
Antique, yeah, there you go.
Antique Pelham Blue.
And antique Pelham Blue.
I'm liking this already. 64
64 antique Pelham Blue.
humbuckers.
Humbuckers. Now, do you want custom buckers or do you want our CME underwound custom buckers, which is what I would recommend doing? To my ear, you get a little bit more warmth out of our pickup, and it just has a big bloom to it. Like it's very 3D. I know, everyone has their own language for that, but that pickup, it's just a very dynamic sounding pickup.
Let's do that then.
So he's got top hats for controls.
Yeah.
So top hats with silver inserts. I personally love a witch hat. A witch hat would not be traditional with that guitar, but that's traditional, obviously.
I'd go traditional for that.
right,
I do like witch hats, but I'd prefer that though.
So do top hats with silver inserts.
For the board, the fingerboard, what are the options?
Ebony, rosewood. I would do rosewood. Like Brian's, it looks cool.
Yeah, I do like rosewood.
For
Right.
tuners, do you like Clousons? I believe his has. You pull that picture up. I think his has. His would have had Clousons. Yeah, those are Clousons. Yeah.
And what are the options? Cluson or what?
You could do Clousons. You could do Grovers.
Grovers are the metal ones, right?
The metal ones.
Right,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. Now a
I
lot
like
of
them though.
you like those.
I like them.
Yeah, Clousons are great, man. I love Clousons.
I mean, I'd be happy with either, but
yeah.
I mean, we're literally just building his guitar here, aren't we?
Yeah, we are. But see, now there again, now that's what a lot of clients will do that with this program. They'll see a guitar, you know, that one of their favorite artists
Yeah.
played that's maybe not in production and recreate it.
This is incredibly easy
Yeah,
and literally 5 minutes,
it's so easy. Yeah.
which is an amazing thing
Yeah,
for
yeah.
anyone at home who wants to do this
Yeah,
type
yeah.
of thing.
And
And it's fun. I gotta
it's
say.
a lot of fun.
Now, when can I expect to get it up?
Not too long actually.
Oh, really?
Made to measure is like 4 to 6 months.
Oh, that's not bad at all.
Yeah, I love made to measure.
Yeah.
It's just the coolest thing in the world because you can take, you know, it's like, well, just take your favorite artist and like, if their guitars had children, you know,
Yeah.
what would they look like, and,
Yeah, yeah,
and mash it up, and you know, you can build stuff that never existed,
Yeah.
but would have if you were in charge. So it's pretty
Yeah.
cool.
No, it is very cool.
So yeah, I'll send it off to Gibson, and they'll get us a quote,
Yeah.
and then in 4 to 6 months it'll be done, and then you'll be touring the world with Oasis because they are going to get back together.
I can't be an always.
They're going to get back together.
Maybe one day.
Oasis 2024, your new SG. I want backstage passes.
So.